Hello. Again, this is Dr. Keenan Grinnell with the Virtual Entrepreneurship Center project, and we're still having a very interesting dialogue with Reverend Clifford Jones, who's the pastor of Greater Peace Missionary Baptist Church in Opelika, Alabama, and he's also the president of the Greater Peace Community Development Corporation. Reverend Jones, tremendous dialogue with you at this point, but let's go a little broader. Can the church legitimately be a major player in the global economy? I mean, we had a globalism in today's workforce, conference here in Atlanta right now. Can the church legitimately be a major player in the global economy?
I think the church can, and in a lot of places the church is. We have churches who have bought major pieces of property throughout areas, shopping centers and hotels and all kinds of things. The church is playing that role to bring people in for employment. I know of a group down in Montgomery who buys houses and actually repair those houses and put their own homeless members in those homes. The church can play a major role globally in terms of impacting the lives of people. It really bothers me sometimes when I see many of my pastoral friends, both black and white, who feel as if the church does not have a role to play, that our responsibility is just simply to teach and preach the gospel. As I said before, I think that is the number one calling that we have. But yet, at the same time, there are many other areas that we can have an impact in globally, impacting the lives all over this world. And so, for me as a church, I think we can impact the world globally. If I had the money to transfer this model of Jordan's Gate to Africa, a country in Africa, or to a country in Haiti, if I could transfer that model and put it on the ground and begin to help people to understand the importance of the role that the church can play in building housing and employing people, and then I think it will change the whole culture of that country, but also change the mindset of many people who may not have seen religion as being something of importance. I think it'll draw more people to Christian faith, but at the same time, just to be able to have good moral and the ability to understand somebody really cares.
You know, it just dawned on me that might have been a loaded question, because you could probably spend about an hour just talking about the CDC's role that you've played recently in Haiti after the major earthquake there?
After the earthquake, and actually that's true. We were there and we spent time there. Actually, I'm going back on the 23rd of this month.
Okay.
Dr. Bill and I are going. We've already shipped 500 pairs of shoes over, and there again, this is a role that we can play.
Tell the listening viewer a little something about those shoes.
Well, one of the things when we went there in 2010 after the earthquake, we found that many of the kids did not have shoes, and Haiti has one of the higher rates of amputation because it's a tropical country, and many of the kids, many of the people don't wear shoes, and if they have diabetes, they can get an infection, and pretty soon they have to have their limbs amputated. So one of the things we saw, that there were many kids walking around. We came back and started the Million Souls Project, where our goal was to raise money to buy shoes to take to Haiti for the children. Plus, Haiti required you to have uniform to go to school. Many kids couldn't go to school because they didn't have shoes and full uniform. So this is the first shipment that we are going to take over there. That was already over there, and we're leaving on the 23rd. We'll go over, I'm going to stay the 23rd and come back on the 25th. But we actually will distribute shoes on the 24th. We're going to give out 500 pairs of shoes to needy kids to help them to have foot covering, and at the same time to be able to further their education.
Okay, very good. What type of instruction training should be should Bible colleges, seminaries, begin establishing to prepare future faith-based leaders to do this entrepreneurship, economic development related work? What are the bases? What are the basics in your opinion?
Well, I think the basic, and I graduated from Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary in Massachusetts, and this was not a piece that I got training in. I think the burning desire and seeing what could be done. I think I think Bible college ought to have a course that deals with community development corporations to teach them, first of all, how to form one, what the steps to go, and then also express ways in which you can take that. As you know, one of the things we looked at when you were here with us was to look at what was it we wanted to do. When we went to that week's training down in Eufaula, we looked at that whole project, and we came up with the goal of establishing the Child Development Center, and we were able to follow through and have that done. Every seminary, every Bible college ought to have something in dealing with entrepreneurial or community development, CDC, Community Development Corporation, and how to go about, and then also look at possibility of funding sources, because that's one of the major problems that many CDCs have. How are you going to get money to fund? And it's so competitive, you have to be able to have it prepared in such a way that you are strong enough and you have shown that you are capable of doing the things that needing to be done, that you will be able to go forth and make grants and application in order to get funding. One of the first things we wanted to do was to have a project that would be successful. Don't start too big, but try to find something that you can do and find some success, because success does breed success.
Okay. My final question to you. Out of all of what you shared with me, it sounds good. But what churches will be likely to adopt this Greater Peace CDC model? What are the readiness pieces that need to be in place?
Well, first of all, the congregation is going to have to understand that the church has a bigger role to play other than just that. The pastor has to have a vision. You have to convey to the people the vision of what you want to do. If you can find a church that is willing, you can find a pastor who can convey the vision, or somebody in that church that he trusts to be able to convey the vision, then I think that's the church that is going to move forward. But if they don't see it, doesn't matter how broad or how good it is, if they don't see how they can do, and there are some churches, I must admit, there are some churches who are really just interested in maintaining where they are. You have to be aggressive enough to be willing to say, we want to make a difference, and let's move out from where we are and try to impact the lives of people. Outside of that, if you don't have that kind of leadership and that interest, then chances are that church will not do a whole lot. I have worked with churches that the pastors have come and had the vision, but he was not able to sell it to the people, and they could not see the vision. And I've gone, and they've asked me to come in and talk to them. I just last 2 weeks ago, I went to a church and laid out the whole plan, how to get started. They are excited. This church is excited because they have a willingness to want to do some of these things. And for me to go and show and take brochures and show what we have been able to do and talk to them the steps, the elementary step to begin with, then they are excited and they have already begun the process. Has to be a willing desire to be able to move from where you are to where you want to be.
Reverend Jones, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.